The host team this All-Star weekend will have a new coach tomorrow. ESPN's Rick Bucher has confirmed the Suns have informed Terry Porter he is out. Alvin Gentry will take over on an interim basis. Phoenix sitting 9th in the West. Here's Amare Stoudemire on the situation.
If that's the case, we just got to turn negative into a positive. We got to move on. You know, we got to pick it up a little bit and turn this thing around. We got to stay together as players and try to get better.
Do you have a preference one way or the other?
I'm not sure. You know, I have never played under Alvin as a head coach. I have played under TP, and Terry was a pretty good guy. He was a great, defensive-minded kind of coach. You know, so.
You talked about losing 10 out of 16 and how you just weren't used to that. Did something have to change? Or something had to change here?
Well, I definitely thought we, as players, we had to step it up a notch or do something to get this thing back on the right track to win some games. From organization, I figured they thought something had to change.
So in a season that has seen all sorts of change around the NBA, Terry Porter and the Suns become the 8th team to make a coaching change this season. You see some of the ranks under Terry Porter: 13th in terms of record, 14th in point differential. They've been terrible all season on turnovers, next to last in the league in that department. This team's 5 games over 500. They're not terrible in the very competitive Western Conference. That's not good enough to be part of the playoff picture right now, but after a little more than a half a season, Terry Porter done. How much blame did he deserve for what's going on in Phoenix?
Matt, I don't think he got a fair opportunity to turn the situation around. It was a tale of two styles, a team that was built to run under Mike D'Antoni, shoot the basketball from three-point range, spread the floor, and allow guys room, in particular Steve Nash, room for penetration. You trade Sean Marion for Shaquille O'Neal, then you trade Boris Diaw as well as Raja Bell, who's great friends with Steve Nash. Then ultimately, Nash seems unhappy, as well as Amare Stoudemire. These guys are playing at a high level, but not really getting it done. Nash is a 2-time MVP. Amare Stoudemire, starter in the All-Star game. Shaquille O'Neal, MVP in the All-Star game. These guys have to look themselves in the mirror, go out there and perform because they're a great team on paper.
So now Alvin Gentry will be the 3rd Suns head coach in less than a year's time. And this all goes back to when Steve Kerr was hired. There was a philosophical difference, obviously. He wanted to make a shift away from the run-and-gun style of Mike D'Antoni to a more traditional half-court, big man, posted-up kind of playoff kind of teams. Well, here's where they are right now. If you're Steve Kerr at this moment, what direction are you taking this team?
Well, at this moment, obviously, you don't trade Amare Stoudemire. He's your bargaining chip, and he's your jewel for the future. You find a way to definitely keep him in the fold. My question is, how can Terry Porter be the guy in October, November, but not be the guy in February, basically with the same roster? I don't think that he got a fair opportunity to turn this situation around. Yes, I played under Alvin Gentry as an assistant coach there in Phoenix. But to say that he's going to come in and implement Mike D'Antoni's style, what are you saying? Do you want to win regular season games like they have been doing, winning 59 games per year, and that wasn't enough? That's why you let Mike go? Or do you want to give Porter, for example, a chance to turn it around with a playoff style? We never know if that was going to work or not.
So you look up and down this roster, you've got a 2-time MVP in Steve Nash, you've got a surefire Hall of Famer in Shaquille O'Neal, Jason Richardson, an explosive guy, some other parts there. What is a reasonable expectation for the roster as it is currently constituted?
When you look at teams in the Western Conference, I really like the Portland Trail Blazers because they're young, they're athletic, they're led by Brandon Roy, but more importantly, they play hard every night. But roster player by player, there's no way that team should be ranked ahead of the Phoenix Suns. I see the Suns as a team that should be between the 6th and the 8th seed in the Western Conference playoff picture and having an opportunity possibly to advance if all of the guys are playing at a high level.
See how it plays out under Alvin Gentry. Again, Rick Bucher has confirmed tonight. Terry Porter has been informed by the Suns. He is out as head coach. This is the 8th coaching change, 8th team, I should say, to change coaches this season. Now that Terry Porter, we can add to that list, 2nd most in a single season in NBA history.